ICF Kids. I'm so glad you're here with us to look at the attributes of God. What is God like? Let's see what you remember. First, we saw that God is almighty. He can do anything. God is He's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. God is awesome. He does things that make us say, wow. God is compassionate. He cares deeply for our needs. God is He's our deliverer. He rescues us from our sin. God is exalted. That's right. He's lifted up high over everything. He's exalted. God is He's faithful. He keeps His promises. We can trust Him. Today we're going to see that God is glorious. Our story comes from Exodus 33 and 34. When Moses has brought the Israelites out of Egypt, they're in the wilderness, and Moses goes up the mountain to get the 10 Commandments from God. But when he comes down, he finds out that the Israelites have built a golden calf and they're worshiping it. He is so upset, he destroys the calf, he breaks the tablets that have the 10 Commandments on them, and he goes back to God to see if God would please forgive them, if He could make up for their sin and even take the punishment on Himself. But God said no, that their sin needed to be punished, and God sent a plague. God even told Moses that he would not be able to go with the Israelites into the promised land because of the rebellion, that if he stayed with them, he might even destroy them. When Moses told the people this, they were so sorry for their sin. They repented of worshiping that golden calf. Moses went back up to God, and he just pled for the Israelites that God would forgive them and reminded God that they were His special people. God did extend grace to Moses and the Israelites and said that He would go with them into the promised land. At this point, Moses asked for something very interesting. He asked to see God's glory. God told Moses that no one had ever seen His face before, but that Moses could hide behind a rock in the mountain as God passed by. And when God had passed by, Moses would be able to see the back of God. What an experience! After this, Moses stayed on the mountain and worshiped God. And God gave him the 10 Commandments a second time and other laws and rules. When Moses came down from that mountain, he was changed because he had been in the presence of God and seen God's glory. His face even shone bright, so bright the Israelites could not see it, and Moses had to cover his face with a veil. But every time he went into the tent of meeting and sat in the presence of God, he took off that veil to be with God, and he would come back out and cover his face because it would be shining bright once again. Wow, God is glorious. What does glorious mean? It means that He's full of glory, to be praised and honored. Moses wanted to see God's glory and His greatness. And after spending time with God, his face changed because he had been in the presence of the glory of God. When we spend time with God, we should change too. Moses reflected God's glory like a mirror. He was reflecting God's glory to the people of Israel. When we understand the glory of God and His greatness and how God gave His only Son to rescue us from our sin, we will never be the same either. We will be changed. We can't be in God's presence and know what He has done to rescue us without our lives changing forever. When we spend time with God in prayer and in His Word, we reflect His glory. We shine His glory into people's lives, and they see God in us. Psalm 72:19 says, "Praise be to His glorious name forever. May the whole earth be filled with His glory." Let's spend time with Him and reflect His glory around us so that the whole earth can be filled with His glory. God is glorious. As we consider what God is like and we're looking at His attributes, for glorious, we're going to put our hand up like this, like we're blocking the bright glory of God that you can't even look at. The people couldn't even look at it reflected off of Moses' face. But also, it's kind of like a mirror that we're looking at, and we're reflecting God's glory in our faces, in our lives, in our words, and in our actions. And people will see God reflected in us, His glory, His greatness, because we spend time with Him, because we know Him. May we reflect God's glory, because God is glorious. To help us remember that God is glorious, we're going to make these bright sunshines, these bright lights, to cover our faces, to shine the glory of God, just like Moses' face shone brightly after he was with God. All you need is a paper plate or maybe some construction paper, and yellow would be a good color to cut a circle, some crayons and a marker, and some scissors. If you did a paper plate, you might want to color it yellow or orange or bright colors, and then write on it, God is glorious, and then cut the rays of sunshine, and then you might want to bend them so that they stick out and shine brightly. Decorate these as you like. Make them really bright and beautiful to shine. We want our faces and our lives and our words and our actions to shine God's glory, because we've been with Him, because we spend time with Him, because we know Him, and He makes a difference in our lives. Just like Moses reflected God's glory to the Israelites, we want to reflect God's glory to the people around us. So have fun making your bright lights to shine to reflect God's glory. Have fun.